Hey boys and girls, this is 10.1 part 2. This is the answers and solutions for the work that you guys had on Wednesday, May 20th. Here we go. Number 7. There are 10 multiple choice questions in a test. The student gets 1 point for every correct answer and 0 points for every wrong answer. No point is awarded for a question that the student does not try to answer. For A, what's the highest score a student can receive on the test? Well, 1 point for each question. They can get 10 questions right and get a 10. What's the lowest possible score? They can get 0. They can answer no questions correctly. What are the possible outcomes for a score on the multiple choice test? Well, the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, next one, number 8. So number 8 says a student is to be selected to play a supporting role in a drama from the list below. So for X is the event. So for A, X is the event the student selected is 14 years old. List the outcomes favorable to event X. So event X is picking a student that's 14 years old. We come up here and we know that Bob is 14 years old. We know that Denise is 14 years old. We know that Brenda is 14 years old. And we know that Benjamin, I'm just going to write Ben, is 14 years old. So there's 4 outcomes, and those are the 4 outcomes. Okay, for B, it says, why is the event that the selected student is at least 1.56 meters tall? Now, if it means they're at least 1.56 meters tall, that means they can be exactly 1.56 meters or greater than that. All right, so anything 1.56 meters or greater, they are favorable to event Y. So here we go. So Bob works here. He's 1.69. So John works. He's above 1.56. Denise works. Michael does not work because he's just a little bit too short. Josephine works. I'm just going to put Joe. Margaret does not work. Again, she's a little bit shorter. Timothy works. I'm just going to put Tim. Brenda works. Henry does not work, but Gary does. Chloe works. But Benjamin's a little bit shorter, so he is not 1.56. He's not at least 1.56 meters. So there you go. These are the list of outcomes that are favorable to event Y. For C, it says Z is the event the selected student is at least 1.7 meters tall and at least 15 years old. So let's first start by doing this. Let's find all the people that are at least 1.7 meters tall. Let's start with them. So at least 1.7. So that's going to be Denise, Josephine, Timothy, Gary. So those 4. So Z is the event that the selected student is at least 1.7 meters tall. So we've found all the people that are at least 1.7 meters tall and at least 15 years old. So that means they're 15 or above. So let's see. Denise is not that. So Denise gets sort of crossed off here. She doesn't fit both criteria. Josephine does. Timothy does. And Gary does. So the answer to this question is going to be our 3 people that are left. Josephine, I'm just going to write Joe. Timothy, I'm just going to write Tim. And Gary. So Joe, Tim, and Gary. Okay, moving on. So D, W is the event that the name of the selected student has at most 5 letters. So we're looking for names that have 5 letters or less, because it can't have, the most it can have is 5 letters. So 5 letters or less. So let's go through this again and let's check off the ones that work. So Bob works, John works, Denise doesn't, Michael doesn't, Josephine doesn't, Margaret doesn't, Timothy doesn't, Brenda doesn't. So at least 5. So Henry's got, I'm sorry, at most 5. So Henry's got 5. Gary's got 4. Chloe's got 5. So that's it. So the answer to D is going to be Bob, John, Henry, Gary, and Chloe. Okay, moving on. So for number 9, so from the list of digits 0579, no, 0578, you form a 3-digit number without any repeating. You do not include any numbers that start with 0. Okay, so list all the outcomes. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to write them all out here so you don't have to watch me write them all. But so essentially, I have to come up with all the possibilities of writing a 3-digit number using these 4 numbers. And the first digit cannot be a 0. So here we go. Here we go. I made the list. The list has 20 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 18 numbers. So just when you guys are ever doing this, don't do this randomly. Don't just write random numbers. Notice if you look here, I started with a pattern. I said, okay, so 5, 0. So I just started all the numbers I could do with 5, 0. I could do 5, 0, 7, then 5, 0, 8. Then I moved on to the 5 7s. I could do 5, 7, 0, 5, 7, 8. So I just went in a pattern. So try to go ahead and keep some sort of pattern to what you're doing. All right, so list all the outcomes of the sample space. Here they are. Now B says list all the favorable outcomes for the event that the 3-digit number is an even number. So let's just go through here and find all the even numbers. So the even numbers end. An even number will end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Okay? So we have to find all of the numbers that end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Obviously, there are no 4s up here, so we're looking for numbers that end in, and there's no 2s, so we're looking for and there's no 6s, so we're just looking for any number that ends in 0 or 8, because those are the only 2 numbers that are even numbers that are in this list. So anything that ends with 0 or 8, so we have 508, we have 578, we have 570, 580, 708, 750, 758, 780, 850, and 870. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So half the numbers are even. Now, list all the favorable outcomes for the event that the 3-digit number is an odd number. So basically, guys, you're listing everything here that you didn't list up there. So you're listing anything that ends in a 5 or 7. All right, so we have 507. We have 587. We have 705. 705. We have 785. 805, 807, 857, and 875. So we've listed all the odd and even numbers for B and C. So that means since there's 18 numbers here, there should be 18 numbers here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. Okay? So 10 and 8 is 18. So there you go. Number 10, it says you pick a whole number. You pick a whole number between 1 and 100. If A is the event that the number you picked is divisible by 3 and 7, what are the outcomes favorable to event A? So I got to find all the numbers between 1 and 100 that are divisible by 3 and 7. So this is kind of like FizzBuzz, right? So I got to find anything. If we were playing FizzBuzz, I got to find anything that I would say FizzBuzz for. So if we think of the multiples of 3 and 7, the first one that's a multiple of both 3 and 7 is 21. That means every 21 numbers is going to be divisible by 3 and 7. So we have 21, 42, 63, and 84. Those are going to be the 4 that are divisible by both 3 and 7. All right? So those are the outcomes. Perfect. Good. Number 5. The numeric tiles 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are placed face down. You pick 4 tiles to form a 4-digit number. How many outcomes are favorable to the event of forming a number greater than 8,755? All right, this is going to be a tough one. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's do this. I want you to recognize that with all these numbers, I can make numbers that are anything that's 8,700 something. I can make 8,700 numbers. I can make numbers that are 8,800. No, I can't. Because I don't. All right, so I can make numbers that are 8,900 something. All right, I can make numbers that are 9,500 something. I can make numbers that are 9,600 something. I can make numbers that are 9,700 something. And I can make numbers that are 9,800 something. All right, so let's do this. Let's start with the 8,700 numbers. And let's just see how many there are. So 8,700. So I can make 8, and I'm going to kind of try to go in a pattern here. I can do 8,756. All right. I could do 8,765. I can make 8,700. I'm going to scratch this. I'm going to go in better order here. Sorry. Did that on purpose. So I have 8,000. No. So 8. No. I'm going to edit this out. Okay. So anyway, to start all over here, I can make 8,756. I can make 8,759. All right, so I have 8,756, 8,759. Now let's go. I can do 8,765. Now let's do 8,769. Now I've done all my 876s. Now let's do, I could do 8,795. And then I could do 8,796. So these are all the numbers that I can make in the 8,700 range. Okay, and there's 6 of them here. Now, since there are 6 different possibilities here, I can make numbers that are 8,700, 8,900, 9,500, 9,600, 9,700, 9,800. I can go ahead and make 6 possibilities for each one of these. So each one of these is going to have 6. So that means 6 times 6 is 36. So there are 36 outcomes favorable to the event of forming a number that's greater than 8,755. Boys, girls, if you guys have any questions, please email me.